Okay, real quick. So yesterday you guys were putting that in your calculator, so I'm gonna real fast put it in my step edit. I'm gonna go through the steps just in case you still don't know how to do it. So hold on, because I think did this way. All right. So I hit stat and enter or stat edit, and I'm gonna put the X's in L1. I'm gonna put the Y's in L2. Y'all did all this yesterday, but I have used my calculator since then, so it all got put.
From yesterday.
Oh, okay. So I want to look at it. I could have plotted them on my paper, but it's just as easy for me to look at it in my calculator. I needed to put it in my calculator anyway because C says I'm going to do a regression. So I might as well just put it in and look at it in my calculator. So in order to look at it, I have to turn on my stat plot. So I'm going to hit second y equals to turn on your stat plots. Plot number 1 is what I'm going to turn on. So I just hit enter to turn it from off to on. And then I'm going to make sure my window is set like the window on the page. So this window goes from -8 to 8. The x-axis is counting by ones. And then on the y-axis, it looks like it goes from -60 to 60, and it's counting by tens. So that way it'll kind of look like theirs when I hit graph. Okay, so there it is. Now the reason that I'm looking at it is because A asks me, what would the least degree for this polynomial function be? Now when it says least degree, the reason it says that is because the rule is however many bends I have, or turns, or bumps, or whatever you want to call it, you add 1. And that is the least degree that it could be. Now, looking at this, I have one end going up and one going down. So what kind of degree does this have to be, with one arrow up and one arrow down?
Negative.
Well, it definitely does have to be negative. It has to have a negative lead coefficient because the right side's going down. But the degree has to be odd because I have one arrow up and one down. So the least possible degree it could be is 3. But it could be 5, 7, or 9. Because the bumps plus 1 gives you the least possible degree. So it's 3 because there are two bends or 2 bumps or 2 turns, whatever you want to call them. And then we already said this about the lead coefficient. It has to be negative because it's falling to the right. So now, here's where I wanted to show you something, and then I'll let you do number 2 on your own. So remember, we're going to do a regression, and because we think it has a degree of 3, I'm doing what kind of regression?
It's your y
Oh.
If I have a degree of 3, which one is it?
Cubic.
Cubic. All right, so I'm going to hit 6. And then if you'll look on the 4th line down, it says store reg EQ. That means store regression equation. So I can tell my calculator to store this for me, and I want it to store it as y equals. The reason I want it to do that is because I want it to graph this function, and I don't want to have to retype it. So if I hit alpha trace, it gives me a menu of y's. I'm going to store it in y1, so I just hit enter. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit calculate. I don't think that my stat diagnostics are on, but it's okay. Now, so all of this I can write down, but I made it store it, so it stored it in y1, so it's all already there. So if I hit graph, it should draw it right between my dots.
Wow.
Voila.
Dude, I just need this all.
I got lost in alpha.
Alpha trace should get
That is pretty cool.
your y1, just hit calculate.
Cool.
All right, so try number 2. You got to look at it to see, count your bends or bumps, figure out what kind of regression it is, blah, blah, blah.
What is that? I wish all of pre-cal was like
Because going down.
It is.
Because going down.
no, all of it.
What's it? I think it's pretty simple.
Did I keep thugging it out? Keep thugging it out.
I don't understand. Hey, honestly, we don't throw up. Never back in. There's actually some that it says never give up.
Come back to me.
Oh yeah, it says that when are you gonna take up already? When were we taking? Yeah, so
in the
Okay,
same.
Excel's so much